Welcome into the defining numbers delivered by FedEx. Kay Murray, Stevie Nicol, Ali Moreno and Ian Darke along with us to look back on the Champions League first leg semi-finals. And we have to start, of course, with Manchester City taking on Real Madrid. And we'll start with a player called Karim Benzema. What a night it was for him. We're just taking a look at what he marked on that night. It was his 600th appearance for Real Madrid. And on the night, he made it 14 Champions League goals in 10 games this season. And you can see the names that he's alongside here: Cristiano Ronaldo, Robert Lewandowski and Lionel Messi. He's something very special, isn't he, Stevie?
Yeah, and I guess that tells the story when you look at the names beside him. You know, I, for one, when Ronaldo left Real Madrid, I wasn't convinced that Karim Benzema was going to be able to step into Ronaldo's shoes and score enough goals to push this team on to titles and Champions League titles. But my goodness, you talk about stepping up. And yes, he's been absolutely incredible this season. But you know what? Last season and the season before, it was just a wee step below that, just being brilliant. I mean, he seems to get better with age. I can't think of anything that he can't do, including carrying the team when things get tough. It's okay to have a goal scorer, but when you have a guy who's the goal scorer, who brings everything together as far as linking the play up, but you have the leader of the team who, when things are going wrong, everybody goes towards to get the strength from. I mean, the guy's got everything.
And it's 40 goals on the season overall, Ale, at 34 years old. Did you ever expect to see this level of performance from him at this stage?
I don't even know whether he did. He must be looking at his performances and thinking to himself, man, look at me. He is flying. He's gotten to the point now to where every time he steps on the field, he's given a clinic as to how to play the position. And he's reached the level to where every time he touches the ball inside the 18-yard box or thereabouts, you expect him to score or assist or have an impact in the score line one way or another. He's reached that sort of level where you're surprised when he misses a chance. You're surprised and blown away when he doesn't take advantage of an opportunity. His movement is great, his link-up play is great, his runs are so very intelligent, and then his final touch has been outstanding. Karim Benzema has been the best player in the world this year.
And this season, Ian, you've been commentating a lot on Karim Benzema. What are your thoughts on what we've seen from him in the current campaign?
I think he's been absolutely outstanding, exceptional. All the things Ali and Stevie just said about him obviously are true. I mean, you think about those two headers he scored at Stamford Bridge as part of the hat-trick. Both very, very difficult in their own ways. One was from about, 15 yards, powered it into the roof of the net. The other one, he could hardly reach it, but he still angled it past Mendy in the corner. He's got them out of jail in the Champions League with all that style and class. He's a torchbearer. I think almost to the point now that they can't do without him. When he wasn't playing against Barcelona, they looked like an empty shell of a side. So how they'll ever replace him when he does come towards the end, and he shows no signs of getting near the end, even at the age of 34, I don't know. But he is the outstanding striker in the world, bar none, I'd say, at the moment.
Let's talk front lines, though, because there is another game between these two coming up, the second leg of the semi-final. For Manchester City, we're just taking a look at some of the stats when it comes to their attackers. Now, the starting front three in this game, in the first game against Real Madrid, was Riyad Mahrez, Gabriel Jesus and Phil Foden. Who's the most important of the three in that trio, Stevie?
Oh, my goodness, the most important. Well, I think the toughest decision that Pep has is who plays centre forward. Because in the wide areas, they just look at that list. You talk about fantastic. But the problem is centre forward. And right now, it has to be Gabriel Jesus. Because as a centre forward, he's the man in form in Manchester City. When he's played recently, he's either been involved in goals or he's scored goals. So I would suggest that in the Bernabeu against Real Madrid, it has to be Gabriel Jesus.
Do you agree, Ale? You've got to go with the player that's in form, like Jesus?
I do, and Gabriel Jesus, what he does and did against Real Madrid in the first leg was occupy the center backs. And while this is something that sometimes Pep Guardiola frowns upon, in having a player that stays between the two center backs, whether that's Alaba and Militao, the other guys that can come from underneath or from the outside become open, because you have to pay attention to Gabriel Jesus. Now you can make the inside runs if you're Riyad Mahrez or you're Phil Foden or you're Kevin De Bruyne late coming from the midfield. All those late runners that appear in the 18-yard box, now if there's nobody tracking from Real Madrid in that midfield line, those guys are going to be open. Why? Because the two center backs have to pay attention to what Gabriel Jesus is doing between them. He runs over the shoulder, he holds up play, a lot of work, and he is also very helpful in terms of pressing once they lose the ball. I do think that he becomes a critical part to their success. Even if he's not scoring goals, I think the way that he plays the game suits right now Manchester City against Real Madrid.
It's interesting, isn't it, Ian? Because you were just talking about Karim Benzema being the best number 9 in the world. Would you rather have the best number 9 in the world if you're Pep Guardiola, or this array of attacking options that he does have?
Well, they're scoring plenty of goals even without an established number 9, and they've tried a lot of people in that position. But I'm with the guys. I think at the moment, Jesus is the form pick, a guy who's hit 4 goals in one game. You'd be mad not to put him out in the next game. And of course, he delivered again after that 4-goal performance in the Champions League match. But, you know, they're probably going to have Erling Haaland there next season leading the line. So they will have a proper number 9 next season. But, you know, who's going to play in the second leg against Real Madrid? I've given up trying to guess what Pep Guardiola is going to do. But I've got a feeling there won't be a place for the £100 million man, Jack Grealish, again.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic all of its own. But we must move on to talk about the other semi-final between Liverpool and Villarreal. Liverpool winning at home in the first leg, 2-0 it was. They're actually in the top 4 of win percentages at home in the Champions League since Jurgen Klopp came in. Let's talk about the importance of Anfield, Stevie. It's a stadium you know very well.
Well, I think you've got to look at it from 2 points of view. First of all, you've got to look at it from a Liverpool player point of view. And so when you're going to Anfield and you walk onto that field, you feel indestructible. You have the confidence of wins there. You have the confidence of beating teams like Barcelona by 4. You have the crowd behind you. The atmosphere is electric. I mean, every single thing you could hope for as a footballer is with you. And if you're the opposition, it's the complete opposite. You're scared stiff. All you're thinking about is, how do we get through this? You know, as a footballer, you want to go and play and you want to score goals and create chances. But if all you're worried about is, how are we going to get through this 90 minutes? Well, it sounds like you're at Anfield, if that's how you think.
Ian, as a commentator, how does the atmosphere at Anfield rank for you?
Oh, it's really great. There's a force field, and it kind of hits you when you hear "You'll Never Walk Alone" before the game. I'll tell you what surprised me about that caption that you put up, that they've had the 27 home European games under Jurgen Klopp, and they haven't won 9 of them, as many as that. I'm a bit surprised, really, because it does almost feel like they've won some of the games before the game. Stevie's right. I think a lot of teams go there and think, you know what, we'll be lucky to get a corner kick here. And it often turns out that way.
Lovely chat it's been with all of you. These have been the defining numbers delivered to you by FedEx.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.